$400.
Hello.
Good evening, everyone.
Holy 20 episodes.
20.
Look at that.
We're almost legal and we can almost drink.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Depending on what part of the world you're in.
Yeah.
So
What's up,
James,
man?
what's up, Jason? All right. Well, we're talking jeans. Fun.
Not the kind you wear on your legs.
No.
Not the Canadian tuxedo.
Kind in snakes. 253 of them. We're going to talk about all of them tonight.
No, we're not. Half of them are fake. People just renamed them.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
It looks like a normal, so put it on Morph Market. It's good.
Yeah. It's a new name for a fire.
Right. Oh, poor Sam. New name for fire.
Yeah.
All right, let's roll the intro.
Welcome back.
How was your week?
Good. I have a little bit of a cough, so I apologize ahead of time if I'm coughing a little bit. I think it's because it was hot and we were cranking up the fan in the bedroom, and I got a bloody nose. I think everything's just dry.
Yeah.
So I have to get used to the fan being on the bedroom when I sleep with my mouth open snoring. So
I live with the fan.
At work, my work, we are trying to release 2 400-page books in less than a month, and it's crunch, and everybody is like, I was working up until jumping into here, and I will log back in to check on things before I go to sleep. So after this,
Jeez.
Other than that, I have 3 girls that are at the 32 to 30 day mark in terms of last time they shed.
Nice.
So waiting on a couple clutches. And then I got a few other that I'm pretty sure just had their pre-lay shed. So fingers crossed, knock on wood. We'll see what happens. But other than that, we dropped 371 more ball pythons on Morph Market.
There we go.
We're at 28,195, and we're down almost 8,200 from 16 weeks ago. So 4 months ago.
Jeez. So that's like 2,000 a month.
Yep.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
So we'll see how the market's doing. Haven't sold anything, haven't really done anything in terms of the business because I've been so busy with work.
Yeah.
So not a lot of snake updates. No. I'm gonna bring in a snake to my daughter. Does School of Rock.
Nice.
And the people there that give lessons and stuff were really interested in snakes, and they just kind of realized that I breed snakes the other day. They're all, wait a second, you breed snakes? And they're like, oh, you should bring in a snake. We were thinking about getting a snake. And so I'm going to bring in a couple snakes for them to look at.
Are you going to give them one?
We'll see.
Word.
Tomorrow the owners aren't going to be there.
Okay.
So I'll have to talk to them on Friday when she goes in for her guitar lesson. So we'll see.
Nice.
They were talking about it. I think one of the teachers there is afraid of snakes.
Ah,
So there might be a conflict there, but I don't know. Well,
they're
it's
gonna
a
have to
ball
get over it.
python. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah. What about you?
Shit. Busy week for sure. Just getting busier for sure. I posted a whole bunch of snakes to MM. I am moving forward with my goal of dropping head count, mouth count, uh, redefining the collection, condensing the collection. So my goal is to get way down, almost cut the collection in half from what it is now. I did sell one on Morph Market, so that's nice. And then I got rid of 3 more in a motorcycle trade, so that's pretty sweet. I will be the proud owner of a 2007 Harley Davidson Heritage Softail, so I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome.
I have a clutch that should be hatching out. I thought it was going to happen today, but didn't. So, because I'm usually like day 54, day 55, I start seeing some pips. And today is day 54. Maybe we're going to wake up in the morning. It'll be some pips going on. That's the chocolate mahogany to the Suma. So that'll be a fun clutch. Still got girls refusing to eat and looking nice and plump. So they should be dropping any day now. Yeah. So that's going down. Jason's building rack sections. What racks are you building, Jason? Give us an update. What up, KG? Trevor, do you work VPI? Of course I do. And I will totally hook you up with some VPI if you want some. In fact, I have a very large pet VPI girl that you could snag right now that has not been bred this year. So if you want her, hit me up. Or I have others as well. So I'm
Awesome.
down to let them roll. Probably the only VPI I'll be working is VPI Pied and VPI Clowns. So everything else can rock and roll. I have plenty. So, yeah, big fun. And I'm like falling over right now, thinking about all the work I have to do. And I'm not looking forward to it.
Jeans.
Jeans. Let's talk them jeans. Wrangler?
Yeah.
Or what are you thinking?
Well, okay. So start with the types of jeans.
All right.
We have recessives, right?
Recessive.
So something that's not visual unless you get a copy from both parents.
Yep.
Pied, good example.
Good example.
Albinos, clown. Need both parents to have it for the offspring to get it. We have incomplete dominance, which are visual genes with just one copy, but they're incomplete dominant because a second version of that creates a different visual look.
Mm-hmm.
So incomplete dominant. Then you have dominant genes, which are pinstripe would be a good example where you need one copy, but there's no difference between if it has 2 copies or 1 copy.
Right.
It's
Leopard.
just dominant with 1 copy.
Yeah. Same with leopard.
Yep.
It's another good one.
Um,
KG. No talking about that. That's on the secret. Down low. down low.
um, there's other things too that people do. That's a majority of what we have in ball pythons. There are polygenic traits or line breeding,
Mm,
which people talk about, like, you breed the best of the best year over year over year. I don't know if line breeding has much of effect in ball pythons like it does in, like, say, hognose
or geckos,
or geckos.
crescent geckos. They do a lot.
Um, then yeah, that kind of is the gamut. I'm sure as things mature, we will run into other types of genes. Um, like the whole thing that happened with DG with Desert Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we will run into stuff like that. There are things like the sex linking with banana.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, that's a 99.9% of what you're going to run into are those three things.
Yeah. Currently listed on Morph Market, they have 224. They call them traits, um, and I'm betting that we will find out that a lot of them are, or that probably 24 of them, just a rough guess, are doubles that just haven't been proven out genetically.
Some of them we know about,
Yeah,
like Mystic Phantom, Lesser Butter.
right.
Um, although it's weird because Lesser and Butter,
They
I
look like
have both and they look different.
they definitely do.
um, so I don't know. They say they're genetically identical, but you know, seems to be something different there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but then there's the shit where people like take a gene, call it something else.
Yeah.
Banana coral glow,
Right.
stuff like that. So I don't know. Um, don't do that shit. Don't like don't fucking do that.
We're just
Um,
confusing people, or
yeah,
people are doing it so that you get something that's more rare and can charge up the ass for it. And that's not cool either. Right.
yeah.
What up,
So,
Chase?
um, but yeah, there's a shit ton of traits.
Yep.
It's what attracted me to ball pythons
Yep.
is because it's a big canvas that you can use. Even taking out probably 50 traits that are duplicates or whatever, there's still a ton to work with.
Yep.
So, um, so the good, the bad, and the complex. I think the idea behind this was, the good stuff, which is kind of a subjective trap, because I feel like what's good to me is not going to be good to somebody else.
Yep.
And, you know, it's a subjective thing. The only thing I will say is that there are certain things that are just inherently bad and you shouldn't do. Like I am not going to bitch at somebody who likes spider.
No.
Um, some of them have issues.
Some of them
Um,
do not.
but the bad would be do not breed a spider to a spider because it
Right.
is a lethal combo.
Mhm.
Um, don't do shit like that. Don't say it's for science. Plenty of people have already done it.
Proving it.
It it doesn't work. Um, we don't need to see if it's one in a million that survives.
You're right.
Just don't fucking do it.
It's not worth
Um,
it.
yep. So for me, the bad is just the things that have known issues that you just shouldn't do. And then the complex are just all the different uh, allelic genes that are out there within this mix of 250 genes that work well together. So aside from, something that is an incomplete dominant gene that shares the same allele on the genome that another gene does, they interact with each other when one parent and another parent uh, give that animal that gene and create something completely different
Mm-hmm.
from what the super of the same gene would be. So like the best complex for stuff like that has a huge variation is the yellowbelly complex,
Mm-hmm.
where you have an ivory, which is a super yellowbelly, which is almost a complete, like, it's white but it yellows out. But then you have something like super asphalt that is a completely wild pattern.
Yeah.
But then yellowbelly and asphalt together make something completely different.
Right.
So we can talk about all the genes in there, and there's a bunch of complexes that we can go through and talk about a little bit. So
Yeah.
I think that's what I get from the title of our episode.
Yeah. I like it.
So
Uh,
anyway,
so just to touch on the bad, um, some pairings you should not do if you do not know already. Spider to spider, no bueno. Champagne to champagne, no bueno. Woma to woma, not good. Hidden gene woma to hidden gene woma, not good. Cypress to hidden gene woma or woma, not good. Um,
coincidentally, all of these are in the spider complex.
yeah. Then you get super cinnamon and super black pastel. They are iffy because it can result in extreme cases of duck billing, kinks, deformities. One thing I will say about that is I have had success, and I have known others that have had success with those pairings by setting up if you have multiple clutches at the same time, setting up a separate incubator, and instead of running at like 89 to 90 degrees, running at like 85 to 86 degrees
Like
to
a little longer.
to extend the incubation period by a couple of days up to like a week, and allowing them to incubate longer, develop longer, gives you a better chance at not getting some of those deformities. We know somebody that just did pandapides. He followed that rule, and that I kind of tipped him off to, and he had a good. Oh yeah, he had a good success with that. So if you have the ability to set up a separate incubator and you are going for that, then go that route, and you'll have a higher percentage chance of success without the deformities. Otherwise, just make like a if you're still going for the dark look in those kind of combos, just going with adding mahogany instead of one, you will still get the dark look, really dark look, and then that will alleviate the concerns of having the deformities.
Yeah, another spider one is super spot nose has
Yeah,
issues as well.
power balls
Sometimes. Like
sometimes.
it's the same as black pastel or cinnamon.
Yeah,
Sometimes they're fine, sometimes they're not.
sometimes. Yeah. And for those that don't know yet, it was found that the wobble is actually due to an inner ear deformity. It's kind of like vertigo for humans, right? And so the inner ear does not develop correctly, and that's why they have the issues that they have, the wobble, the stargazing, that kind of stuff. So is not a good look on the snakes. But on the flip side, spider ball pythons are sick looking. And as much as people talk shit about spiders, it's interesting that I hear a lot of shit talking about spiders. And then I get on to podcasts and in forums and all this kind of stuff, and everybody fucking has spiders. So it's amazing how much people talk shit about them, but then everybody admits that they have them. So I love them. I breed them. I like them. They make, they may not be super desirable among the middle and upper tier breeders, but they make awesome looking pets. They sell fantastic at the shows. If you can get a line that doesn't show a lot of wobble or stargazing, then they sell really well. And in fact, I have a girl that she's bought probably 4 of them from me, something like that. And she looks around at these shows and nobody has them, and I have them, and she keeps coming back for them. So they are an awesome looking animal for sure. So I don't think that just because of that you should not breed them, just because of a wobble. Or I think obviously if it's severe, you probably don't want to continue. You don't
Right.
want to breed that animal.
You don't want to breed that line.
Yeah, that line. But if you can get a line that it does not have it, then I think you should breed them, because they make they're awesome animals. They look amazing, and
there's some really easy pairings you can do that are just fantastic, like calico.
Yeah. Odie
Like
calicos.
the bamboo spider calico.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like again, what you like and what I would consider good is going to be subjective to every person.
Right.
I love GHI. Not
Right.
everybody likes GHI. That's fine. I will work the fuck out of GHI.
I'm pretty sure everybody likes GHI.
Most people like GHI.
Yeah, I haven't heard anyone like GHI actually.
So yeah, I mean, and like you said, like if your goal is to make animals that you enjoy and that you can also sell at shows, and you like make spiders.
Yeah.
If your animals tend to have issues, maybe find, like we were saying, a line that doesn't have a severe wobble, doesn't have the stargazing issue. KG asked, do you think lower incubation could help the spider? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't know. I've never tested that. I've always thrown my spider clutches in with everything else, but it wouldn't be bad to test. I could definitely do that on the next go around. I have a bamboo ultramel spider that's breeding for me this year that I can give his clutch a run in the lower temp incubator and see what happens, and definitely let you guys know. So
yep, banana is also another good one in it.
Yep, banana is another good one in spider for sure.
And those are 2 genes that people love.
Yep.
That's
right.
So other things I would consider bad, the genes that have fertility issues.
Yep.
Desert caramel albino.
Yep.
You're just not gonna have clutches from those.
No.
So like if you they're very pretty. Both of them. Actually, caramel albino might be the best albino, at least visually.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're not gonna get babies. So what I think both of those genes, though, nobody really works anymore.
Not really.
You don't see them because of that reason.
Yeah.
Because I think people that are breeding for financial gain, there's no financial gain there.
Right.
And so you just don't see them pop up.
No.
Another one that I didn't talk about before the show, Trevor, but I just thought about was, again, which is going to be subjective, where I think the is scaleless.
Yes, scaleless is tricky.
Yeah,
Scaleless is tricky.
I don't know if I would call it bad,
It's
but the
just
husbandry for it is going to be very different from everything else that you have.
right. I've known people that have been very successful with scaleless, just by lining the bottom of the tub with moss, sphagnum moss, and keeping it very wet. That's one of the things about the scaleless is it needs a lot higher humidity to have quality sheds. Um, and I've known big breeders that they've had scaleless for 20 years, or, for a long time. And they got the animal or animals a long time ago, and they kept them because they liked them, and they continued breeding them. And um, now I think it's to the point where it's hard for them to get rid of them, which is sad. But I think they're very cool. Uh, it's interesting too. I want to say 10 years ago, a question came up that I don't know that I ever got answered. Um, I don't believe that scaleless can get mites. There's no scales for the mite to hide under and and get into. So
There's pros and cons to everything.
there you go. um, but I don't know that for sure. I don't know that answer was ever or that question was ever answered, but that came up as a hypothesis that
Yeah, it's definitely one where it's like it's not like the animal is sick or it just takes different husbandry, and if you're not prepared for it, and the people like if you're trying to sell the animals, if those people are not prepared for it,
yeah,
because you can't just go get like the ball python guide and treat it the same way as everything else.
right,
So it's an interesting kind of like outlier
right,
on the graph here of
yeah,
good, bad, and complex.
yeah. And
Um,
what's also interesting about the scaleless is if you don't have the super version of the scaleless, the just single scaleless head is an enhancer gene. So it definitely makes the animals look very pretty color overall. So if you're not breeding for the super, then that's something to consider. Um, is just the single scaleless
right,
head makes it look very cool. So
right on. What other genes have issues? Can you think of anything else?
uh,
That well, we'll get into it with the complex.
bells.
Oh, like the Mojave Lesser, like
Well,
the
right. Like the issue with it is that you can't see any other genes in it if there are other
well,
genes. Right.
I know some of them. Some combos also have the bug eyes or the small eyes
Right.
as
Yeah.
well.
True. True. But other than that, nothing. I don't think there's anything else.
Okay.
Any you guys think of anything else in the comments? See the comments blown up over here, and I'm not paying
Yeah,
attention.
KG wants to make his caramel albino spider desert animal.
There you go. Spider puzzle. Yeah, I've seen spider puzzles. Those are cool.
All right. Well, complexes.
Long live the spider. Complexes.
So again, talking about the spider complex, a lot of those issued genes are in that complex. So
Yes.
spider, champagne, woma, hidden gene woma, sable is another one.
Yep.
Um, the weird spot nose is in there.
Yeah.
Although the super is not lethal, the super does sometimes have issues.
Right.
Um, some weird ones that are in there, though, Wookie and Chocolate are in there,
Yeah.
have no issues.
No issue.
The one that I think is the interesting one though is blackhead is in there, and blackhead with spider fixes the wobble.
Yeah.
So it's like this weird allelic combo that is okay and actually fixes a lot of the issues.
Right. But when you breed a blackhead to a spider, unfortunately, it looks like a normal.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bongo and Cypress. Yep, that's right. Will. Awesome, awesome genes.
Shadow is in there.
Shadow is in there, which I just learned.
Yeah.
So,
The other one that's in there is SAR, which
which nobody
I'm
knows.
not familiar with at all. So,
I think that's a European gene mainly. I don't know that the SAR has worked very heavily over here.
yeah.
I did look at it a while back when I was on the
Of
hunt for
course
more.
you did.
Of course, I did. I was on the hunt for more genes, and it wasn't enough. Uh, it wasn't drastic enough for me to try and import it. So,
It doesn't appear to be. It's actually in the spider ball complex, not the 8-ball complex. Um, although I don't know enough about it to make any call, and I don't like there's not a shed test for it, so I don't think they know. Um, I watch the RGI videos and they're like I think it's one of those genes that they're always looking for sheds for because they're probably not getting a lot.
mm,
Um, but it's listed as separate and it doesn't say on there like this is the same gene as cinnamon
mm,
or anything like that. So until they get a shed test and can compare it to Cinny or mahogany, then I don't think we know for sure.
yeah. I know Renee has requested a few times that we talk about shark mouth, and the at what degree is shark mouth uh, no bueno. And I've seen some pretty serious issues with shark mouth, and I've seen some not so serious cases of shark mouth as well, though it's still there. I think that the bottom line is if you get a animal that is uh, heavily shark mouth where it will not eat, that's where the issues really start. Um, I know that, in fact, I've seen it recently. People posting where they got an animal from a breeder on Morph Market. Uh, it has a small degree of shark mouth. They are very pissed about it, and they are requesting refunds. And the animal's eating fine, healthy, you know, uh, except for the lower jaw is slightly recessed. Um, and I don't know that there's uh, like a measurement of how bad the shark mouth is to say this animal is going to have health issues or not. I think that's just kind of the cutoff is whether it will eat or not.
Right.
So, um, yeah, that's kind of. I have an orange dream clown that has shark mouth. He is fantastic. Um, eats just fine, grows just fine. It's there. You can tell. You can see it. He's produced for me. Never had any offspring. Had any issues or any shark mouth. I don't think it's genetic. Um,
I was gonna say I don't think it is either because
yeah.
I don't know if there's any specific genes that throw it more than others.
Mm,
I think it might be like just incubation issues at certain times that end up causing it, and it just causes it across the board.
mm,
Um, like I think I have seen it again. Go back to the 8-ball complex, but Cine and Black Pastel. I think I've seen it the most in.
Mm,
But I don't think that was necessarily an issue with the gene itself more than incubation issues.
mm,
Because most of the time, when you ask people that end up with animals that have severe shark mouths, like if
mm,
something happened during incubation, they go, "Oh, I lost power at a certain point," or
mm.
something happened, like the thermostat broke.
Proud. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I tend to agree, Will. Um,
We'll see.
so
One of those.
mahogany, I thought it was mahogany, stranger, and cinder
Yes.
are in the complex.
Yeah. That same
Um,
complex.
I don't have stranger or cinder. I want stranger. I haven't really looked into cinder.
I
Um,
have both, or I have all three, I should say. Of
yeah.
course I do. And to be honest, Cinder looks very much like Stranger. In fact, when I first got the two Cinder animals that I have, I almost thought that he had just listed it wrong, right? Um, but as it grows, it develops differently, and it looks different. But I think, and I think it's very cool looking. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, Cinder, Mahogany, and Stranger are all in the same complex. The Mahogany complex.
Um, yeah. So, I mean, we talked about the spider, 8 ball.
Eight ball.
So, black pastel, since we're talking about 8 ball, black pastel, cinnamon, enchi, HRA, Huffman, Jolt, and Razor.
Good old Joel.
Jolt,
Been a while since I've
Jolt
seen
Cola. Used to
it.
drink that as a kid. Um, I think I have most of these. I don't have Huffman, Jolt, or Razor, but I have Black Pastel, Cinnamon, Enchi, and HRA, and I have quite a bit of all of those. So
Yeah,
I know that the Black Pastel and Cine can have super issues. I'm not sure about Huffman, Jolt, or Razor. I don't know if you know.
I I don't know about Super Huffman having issues. I know Matt used to work Huffman pretty hard, and I don't think he had any issues.
It Enchi is a Lilac. It's part of the complex. They're all compatible with each other.
Yeah. What up, Carlos?
Hey, Carlos. um, there are some like for as much as a lot of these do have issues, like just the single gene versions of them, but blended together. Like you were saying, like if you want to go for a dark snake instead of going for like super black pastel, you can do black pastel with leopard, mahogany,
Mm,
GHI, blackhead, like and get the same dark.
dark. Yeah.
Um, Instead of going the black pastel. There's also some cool stuff like, instead of doing the supers with black pastel and cine, doing mixing them with enchi instead. So cinnamon enchi, black
Mm,
pastel enchi. Um, they have some really cool effects, especially like we can look at the campfire
right.
if you add calico to it. Um, Super cool stuff you can do there.
For sure.
Um, oh, what's the super HRA? That the I think somebody named it at some point. I think it's like a gargoyle or something. Like I know it's like do they just call it red exanthic? But
I think Gargoyle is something else. That's old school. I feel like Gargoyle was. Let's just find out.
it might be with something else in it too. But
Cinnamon HRA.
what's that?
Cinnamon HRA.
Okay, so it's an allelic one of the that group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, there's some cool stuff you can do there. There's I don't know. Do you have anything else on 8 ball?
Mm-mm.
It's kind of like the maybe one of the older complexes that people have just worked a lot.
Yeah.
So
I think some of the complexes too, like especially in the 8 ball complex, you can only work so much, and then it turns out to be just a gray snake,
yeah.
which I have, of course. So
Um. So Black-Eyed Lucy.
black-eyed Lucy,
So
Ooh,
fire.
fire, the old fire complex or tawny complex.
Tawny. Yeah.
Oh boy,
Uh. So what? Fire, disco, creed, flame. Um. Vanilla is in there.
yeah.
Um. Sulfur. All the stuff with a fire name.
Yeah, I think super sulfurs are badass.
Yeah.
I think they're, uh, I think they're awesome looking animals. In fact, I like them better than pies. Um,
But
I've,
it's an interesting complex because it's, I mean, it's very similar to like the bells or the yellow belly complex where you have a super fire,
mm,
right? That has that same kind of white yellowish snake look, but then you do something like fire vanilla,
mm,
which is very different. Um, I don't know, like the only ones that I have experience with in this group are fire and vanilla.
yeah,
Like all the other ones I don't have and haven't really looked into. Um, but I know it, like I know there's some similarities with like the yellow belly complex where it's like, okay, this version looks like this version looks like this version looks like this. There's a little differences between them.
mm.
So, what about anybody out there who's working black-eyed Lucy's? Anybody?
Anybody been
Or
looking for
are we
male?
going back to like 2007 and nobody is, we're well beyond this here.
Hey, North Country, I have a pretty badass calico asphalt male for sale. Do you want that? Let me know.
Sapphire. I've heard of Sapphire. I think oh man, the dude in Alaska had a bunch of Sapphire. I got my banana cinnamon head pied from him. Um
Antoine?
no, Alaska.
Oh,
Uh uh Reptile Barn?
reptile barn. That's right. Yeah.
Um I think he had a lot of Sapphire. I don't know, is that part of a complex?
Um, no, it's just an incomplete dominant, according to Morph Market.
Yeah, and that's it. That's here's a disclaimer. Don't believe everything you read on Morph Market. I don't know
it's,
how accurate it is.
it's user
And it's
generated.
like I'll do like a search on like a certain complex and I'll get like posts from like 2016 and it's
Yeah,
like the newest post about something and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can take this as gospel here.
yeah. What
But
about Super Bongo?
what's
Since
that?
Will's, what about Super Bongo? Since Will's talking about Bongo,
I don't think Super Bongo has issues.
I don't think it does either. I know Jesus just
Yeah.
hatched out those, which are pretty sick looking. But Bongo like completely wipes out everything in those combos, I should say. No issues with
Um,
Super Bongo. Good to hear, Will. Does it look pretty cool, or is it just like a dominant, like pinstripe and leopard?
I don't know.
I have bongos for sale too. Just let her
This is the show where Trevor sells off his collection.
uh,
Um, so so the fire stuff. black-eyed Lucy's, blue-eyed Lucy's. There's some good variation here. So bamboo, butter, daddy, honey, lesser, mocha, Mojave, mystic, phantom, Russo, and special.
And some of them, even though they're in the blue-eyed Lucy, when you mix them, they don't exactly make the all white with blue eyes. They make mystic potions,
Mystic potions, purple passions, crystals.
Yeah, crystals. Yeah.
Bamboo
for the win, Carlos.
Yeah.
I love bamboo.
So it's another one that's a pretty varied group. We talked a little bit about like the lesser issue with the eyes. But again, these are good ones. We talked early about the spiders and how, as much as they have issues, like if you're selling pets, they sell well. Bells sell fucking well.
Amazing.
Purple passions, mystic potions, all of those sell well. Special's an interesting one.
Yeah, you did. Those are awesome too.
Just because of how different, how different the gene is as an enhancer to other things on its own, versus like, Mojave's got bamboo takes over everything.
Right.
Mojave's pretty clear. Like most of those, a lot of the Bell complex stuff have those that patterning, the where it pulls the eyes together on the alien heads.
Yeah.
But sorry, my cough is getting bad.
Oh, sorry.
The Russo Mojave make, is that a Bell or more like Phantom Mystic?
It's just a straight Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think that the whitest of the white Bell snakes is the Super Russa, though. I've had them all. I think I have, right now I have Mojave Lesser. I think I have like 4 of them. And I think my Super Russo is the whitest of all the white snakes. He is gorgeous.
So I have butter, Mojave, Mystic, Phantom, and Special. But I have not made bells with any of them.
No.
Nope. So
I have probably 10 animals that are just for bell making.
Yeah.
But probably not.
Yeah, we talked about that in the other episode where we were talking about just bring what sells to the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is a good complex if you want to make animals that sell at a show. Because they will sell at a show. Almost every variation here will sell at a show.
Yeah. For sure.
I think the last big complex is the yellowbelly complex.
Albino complex too.
We'll get to the recessive ones.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, yep.
But I think yellowbelly is an interesting one too because of the variation that you can get, and everybody's decided to name it after different
streets,
road things.
Yes.
So, asphalt, yellowbelly, gravel, spark, specter. Obviously the super yellowbelly, you get the ivory.
Yep.
All the other supers are far more interesting. And then the allelic versions where you mix yellowbelly with shit, it gets crazy, where you get the highway, freeway, parkway.
Yeah.
What other fucking the one that doesn't have the name is the Spectre Yellowbelly, which has super stripe.
Yeah. Super stripe.
Which I think I made one.
Spectre yellowbelly, isn't that a puma?
Spectre yellowbelly is super stripe.
Oh, what's the puma?
That isn't that the super spectre?
Oh, spark.
Oh, spark. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. I'm too tired for this. There's too many names.
It gets confusing. It's a lot of info, like 250 genes. They all interact with each other differently. It's a lot to fucking hold in your head.
Yeah, especially
Uh,
when you don't sleep. You're 5 monsters deep in a cup of coffee.
but I have a dirty sock that I think is a super stripe or should be a super stripe, but I'm not sure because butter's in there too.
Mm,
And it washed everything out, but the pattern I see looks like a highway or a freeway, not a super stripe.
mm.
So I'm waiting to send out a bunch of sheds. Did you guys like the tri-stripe puzzle? I don't know if I saw the tri-stripe puzzle. Was that
Who hatched that out,
is that
Carlos?
Aaron and Corey?
I highly doubt it. Carlos, who did the tri-stripe puzzle?
Give up the information.
God damn it, Carlos!
um, but I like a lot of the stuff in this complex, except for the super yellow belly. I'm not a big
Ivory fan.
Ivory fan, but I like how everything else interacts with it. And I
Oh,
just like how all of these genes work with other shit too.
gotcha.
Um,
I like the ivory leopard.
yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. Kyle Frost did it, Carlos. We'll have to look it up. Tri-stripe puzzle. Oh yeah, that's sick.
Hey, can you share screen or
I
something?
I can share screen.
Let's throw up some eye candy.
Bam.
Ooh. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I believe that Kyle works the KMR line of Tri-Stripe too. So that's it's pretty. We're gonna just go ahead and like that there, Kyle.
Yeah, I definitely see that they Aaron and Corey like that
Yeah.
animal.
So did Jessica. Yep.
Yep.
That's pretty sweet. That is pretty sweet.
Now he's got to get some color in there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Oh yeah.
But yeah, so yellow belly complex. Then we have a couple recessive complexes. So the albino complex, so albino and candinos.
Indinos.
Um, and then we have the kryptons with clown and cryptic,
Yep.
which interact with each other, which is pretty interesting.
Mm.
I don't work either of those, so I don't have a lot to comment on.
I have Kryptons. I don't have any Candinos. I have the makings for Candinos, but I really the only regular albinos that I work are just albino pies for
Yeah.
pets for people. Um, yes, put Ultramel in that tri-stripe puzzle, and that's a $50,000 animal right there. Yeah, that'd be sick. I agree, KG. So I don't have any Candinos. I know there are people that absolutely love the Candinos, which
Yep.
is cool. But I don't work. I have Candy, I have albino, but I don't have any Candinos. So I don't even know that I've seen one in person. Actually, a Candino. Adam has Candinos, doesn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
Adam works that project. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. North Country said my brain doesn't get cryptic krypton. It's just a het cryptic and a het clown make a krypton. That's how that works.
It's the same thing as if you had like a super of something.
Yeah.
It's just, or same as yellowbelly and specter together.
Right. Right.
They're a recessive, but they're allelic to each other. So if you don't have a visual clown, it ends up being a krypton.
Mm.
Um,
My problem with cryptic is I can't see it.
yeah,
I can't tell what animals come out of the clutch that have cryptic. And
I
so,
think that's a personal choice of mine. Is I stay away from shit where I'm like, I don't know if I can identify that, so I just don't want to deal with it.
right? I sold M&M my Harlequin double head DG cryptics because I just not going to work cryptic.
Yeah,
I have a leopard pins. What is he? Leopard pinstripe something Krypton. I don't remember. He's like 2 incomplete dominance, triple het, something. I'm too tired for this right now. There's too many snakes. um, yeah, but I'm not some. I know people love cryptic, and that's cool, obviously, but I just don't. I prefer the genes that I can tell out of the clutch, out of the eggs, what they actually are. And some of them, I just have a hard time. Unless you've
right.
looked at like 100 of them, it's hard to tell, right?
So we spent an hour talking about genes. Trevor, what's your favorite gene?
Ooh.
Your desert island. I can have one snake with one gene in it. What is
One
that
snake
gene?
with one gene. Man, that's tough. That
What
is
about
tough.
everybody else out there? Will,
Yeah.
KG,
Uh,
Carlos. Carlos, you're going to be puzzle, aren't you?
yeah, Carlos is definitely going to be puzzled. Maybe tri-stripe? Maybe. I don't know. What's your
Uh,
favorite? What's your favorite gene, Will?
your desert island. I can only have one gene, one snake with one gene. What are you bringing?
Oh, I know what it is. Never mind. It's
It's a
a
carpet
it's
python.
a carpet python.
Puzzle. Will's got puzzle.
Puzzle. I,
Cypress.
I love that, Will. I love that. Are you doing any cool puzzle pairings this year? What's your most anticipated puzzle pairing for the year? Cypress is awesome.
Yeah, my puzzle boy is at like 350 grams now. So next year, he's going to do quite a bit of work.
Yeah.
I do like puzzle. GHI is my favorite gene. Like,
My lace het puzzle boy is going to do some work for me this year. That'll be pretty sweet.
um, yeah. So genes. We've talked about genes.
We have. Did we miss anything?
I don't think so.
I feel like I had a lot more notes and I just fell asleep. So, what else? What else? What else do I have?
Well, if you have more stuff to talk about, we can talk about more stuff.
I mean, I probably do.
We're at an hour though.
We are. I have to go bowling still.
What?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I know.
Oh,
uh,
rainbow. Hmm?
just hatched a het puzzle, possible het hypo rainbow, making double het monarch puzzles. I'm making monarch tri-stripes. That's pretty sweet.
Uh,
Hell yeah, Will. That's what's up.
that's a pretty nice group of animals there, Will.
Yeah, you're gonna be the puzzle.
What's the most overrated gene?
Ooh, pastel. Um, I think due to how much it's worked and how far we all are behind Justin, Clown is the most overrated gene. We're all just trying to be a Justin in this world with Clown
Man, overrated.
or Pied.
Uh,
The problem for Pied for me is like you can only do so much. I feel like to Pied. I feel like you can change the color, and you really can't do much with the pattern. I mean, I have those Orange Dream Hurricane Pieds downstairs, and like you could tell they're Hurricane. Yeah, it's cool, but I just feel like we're going to be getting to the point where there's not much else you can do with Pied. Once you get too many genes in Pied, you're gonna run out of being able to see what's in the animal,
yeah.
right? Like Clown Pied came out, it was all the rage for like a year, and then now they're all $100. Like it just died, like died. So I also have Clown Pies for sale.
Oh man, overrated. I don't like that's tough. That's tougher than picking out my favorite gene just because I can see pros and cons to everything. Like you said with pie, there's not a lot that you can do with it to mix it up, right? You throw enchi in it, you give it a little more pattern,
Right.
less white, but it's still got that saddle look to it,
Yeah.
even with the enchi in it, right?
Right. Right.
You can lighten it, you can darken it,
Right.
um, but you can't do a lot to it. I think the genes that you really can't do much to, I think are overrated.
Mm-hmm.
So like pinstripe,
Right.
um, I,
Pinstripe
I
clones.
I know you guys like bamboo, but like there's not a lot you can do to bamboo to change bamboo.
Right. For sure. That bamboo spider ultramel that I have, like he's gorgeous, but like where do you go from there?
Yeah.
I don't know. Bamboo is so overwhelming. It's an amazing gene, but it is. It's calico. Throw calico into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you sure, KG, that they actually had Mandarin? Was it real Mandarin?
I have a, what is she? I know there's banana. I know there's NR Mandarin. What else is she? But you can't even see the Mandarin. It's like,
Yeah,
damn,
I mean, like I think from all the stuff that I've seen, it's like it's the super and then hypo with it is what
right,
really makes it pop.
right. I
So,
agree.
and it's like that's the same as Will mentioned. I think Red Stripe. It's like Red Stripe on its own.
Yeah,
I have a hard time telling if something's Red Stripe on its own. Like I have Red Stripe, but it's the way it interacts with other things where
right,
it pops. And is it Red Stripe or is it the other things that are
right. I think
so?
also with red stripe, it's the line of red stripe that you get. I've
Yeah,
I've seen red stripe that you can't tell that it's red stripe, and then I have a red stripe line that you can totally tell that's not a normal, and it's a red like a red
yeah.
stripe.
So I have two red stripes from two different people. The one I got from Canova, I can tell it's Red Stripe.
Right. Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah.
PPR
So
has insane calico combos. Yes, Antoine does.
I really fucking want more calico.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you want
I
calico?
I have a sugar and I have a calico.
Hmm. What are
I
the
have the horror calico that keeps getting passed around all the breeders in
Colorado?
Colorado.
It
I
was mine
think
like 4 years ago.
yours, and then Jesus, and then
Yeah.
Sam, and now
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. She's a great breeder though.
Yeah.
Just to let you know.
But yeah, anyway, that's Cheens.
Yeah.
Hope everybody enjoyed the show. Hey, next week, I
Next
think
week.
is the one that people have been waiting for, which is the AI talk,
Yes.
which should be fun,
It's going to be a blast.
assuming this cough is gone.
Yeah.
I think I might try something different. I might do a presentation, like a slideshow deck,
Yeah.
along with sharing screens of Chat GPT and walking people through setting shit up.
Hmm.
So it should be an interesting show.
So between now and next week, make sure to pay the $20 and get your Chat GPT subscription so you can follow along and take over the ball python world.
That's right.
Yes.
Um, I don't know if I'm doing stuff that's unorthodox or not common or not. I don't think I am, but I don't think there's also a lot of people that I don't think realize what it can do and what you can use it for. So,
Right.
Yeah. Hey, like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Tell your friends. Pay them if you have to. And we'll see you next week for
Next
an
week should be fun.
amazing episode. Share the shit out of that so we can get a lot of people here.
So quick preview to end the show. What are we doing with AI? I do a lot with AI. I've
Yes.
done programming with AI, data analysis with AI, graphic design with AI, ads with AI, just social marketing with AI. You can do pretty much anything with it. Think of AI as an employee. You just need to give it a job description
Mhm.
and the tools it needs to do its job. And I'll go over that next week.
And he's talking about all those things as they pertain to this industry,
Right.
right? He's not talking about his normal 9 to 5 job. That's not what he did with it with his normal 9 to 5 job. That's
No,
just
actually, like, it's interesting because what I do for a living is very anti-AI.
yeah,
Like, I work with a lot of artists
yeah,
and they are very anti-AI.
because they're gonna lose their jobs. So
They're not going to lose their jobs. Like, the one bad thing with AI is unless you know how to train it
yeah,
correctly, it's all going to be homogenous.
yeah,
And all of a sudden, AI art all starts looking the same.
hmm,
And that's how artists can tell it's AI art.
right, for
Um,
sure.
hey, you don't need to be smart to do this. I will walk you through it.
Yeah, just let
I
the
don't
AI be smart.
I don't think I I I come from an art background, not an engineering background. And I thought the same thing. I thought it was going to be overwhelming. It's not. It's really straightforward. So, anyway, be there or be square.
Be there or be square. Yes. And a little hint, the great thing about ChatGPT is it will tell you what to do. It will
Yeah.
give you suggestions all along the way. So as you're giving it prompts, at the end of its response, it'll be like, "Do you want me to take over the world for you at the same time?" And you'll just be
Yeah.
like, "Yes." And then it does it. So,
You remember that movie from 1982 with Matthew Broderick called War Games?
hell yeah.
Do you want to play a game?
Do you want to play a game?
That's what we're going to do next week.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for
Piggy
coming.
in the brain.
And
Have a good night, everyone.
have a good night. We'll see you next week.